Hi everyone, I'm Alex. We are group 425. We're super excited to talk to you about movies.
Hi, I'm Mary, and we really thought that talking about something as universal as movies would be a fun and entertaining way to work on our communication skills and the goals for this class in general. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as we have been.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Ava. Do you like movies?
I definitely do.
But why do we like some movies more than others?
Depending on age and personality, some may prefer certain movie genres over others. There are many aspects of a genre that influence whether people like or dislike it.
Movies are meant to entertain and educate through visual art.
And movie genres are meant to appeal to many different ages and personalities. We are going to touch on just a few of the genres as we go on, and we will definitely tell you our take on them, although not all of them will be included today.
Movies are meant to entertain through genres such as comedy, horror, action, family, romance, sci-fi, and many more.
Now it's your turn to form your own opinions based on our information provided. Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'll be talking to you about comedy movies and their influence on individuals worldwide. The information that I will be providing to you comes from the Pew Research Center and Statista. Comedy movies, depending on the rating, normally appeal to all ages. If there's a younger audience viewing the movie, the humor will relate to their age. However, some comedy movies have a different type of humor that is made for mature audiences, 18 and up. Some examples of comedy movies are Mean Girls, Elf, Dumb and Dumber, and many, many more. Comedy movies are one of the most popular genres viewed across all ages due to the uplifting moods they bring to their audience. Comedy genres are created in order to appeal to their audience. Children that watch movies normally only understand them when there is a relation to their life. So movies such as the SpongeBob movie are more likely to have a greater appeal in kids. Based on multiple studies, only 22% of the audience of the SpongeBob movie were from the ages of 18 to 49, and the rest were children 18 and under. Why is this, some may ask? Well, this type of movie has more of an impact on younger age children because it incorporates brighter colors, cartoons, and humorous aspects that children are only able to understand. Some adults might find this useless. However, this specific type of movie is what children can get the most enjoyment out of. Adults can view comedy movies of all ages and fully understand them. Studies have shown that 7 in 10 people choose to watch a comedy movie over any other genre. This is most likely because children-based comedy movies can sometimes appeal to adults, whereas adult comedy movies will not have the same appeal to children due to language, dark humor, and it being somewhat inappropriate. Therefore, comedy movies are viewed most of the time, especially when parents watch them with their children. Although no matter which type of comedy movies are viewed, the main focus is to keep the audience engaged. The producers of comedy movies use techniques such as timing, misunderstanding, and expectations in order to grab the audience's attention. These techniques are the makeup of a traditional comedy movie, and most of the time cannot be one without them. This is a clip from Dumb and Dumber, to any of you guys that have seen this movie, that accurately depicts this.
You're at Quincy's. Any Quincy's. You're at Quincy's. No, any Quincy's, no starches. You can't do that. Can't do. Cannot. Stamped it. Can't do double stamped it, no erases. Cannot. Triple stamped it, no erases. Tough blue, make it true. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Lloyd, you guys! Enough! Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
So I just thought that was funny. That's one of my personal favorites. This specific clip shows two very immature adults that are unable to see the seriousness of any situation. The producer used the technique of expectations throughout this movie because the audience sets a standard for the way that an adult would deal with a particular scenario, mostly a serious situation. But these main characters do not abide by that at all. And to those of you that have seen this movie, you guys would know. The traditional comedy genre is incredibly well known worldwide. If someone is having a bad day and needs some cheering up, most of the time a nice comedy movie is the way to go. As we have learned, there are several types of comedy movies and appeal to each age group. However, something that is extremely versatile is that comedy still incorporates important aspects of life and reality and expresses them in a more positive manner. Comedy movie, personally, is one of my favorites because it really does help me get out of a bad day, and it's just a very good aspect of the movie's genres.
Hi, my name is Alex, and I'll be explaining the horror movie genre. The horror genre is very different from any other genre because it intentionally attempts to cause stress to the viewer. These movies work to make viewers experience feelings such as faster heart rate, heavy breathing, and sweaty palms. Many people enjoy the feeling of thrill and excitement, while others don't enjoy these feelings. Horror movies are typically viewed by people ages 13 and up and are meant to provide a sense of fear and anxiety with a feeling of adrenaline. They are typically rated PG-13 or R. Horror movies have many different subtopics, including supernatural with ghosts and demons, thrillers, murder mysteries, and more. According to filmsite.org, supernatural movies are films that have themes including gods or goddesses, ghosts, apparitions, spirits, miracles, and other similar ideas or depictions of extraordinary phenomena. At first, supernatural films were not meant to scare the audience. Depending on the film, they were comical, whimsical, and romantic. In recent years, supernatural films have evolved to create fear for the viewer. A few examples of supernatural movies include The Conjuring, Poltergeist, Sinister, and Insidious. 60% of the students that took our survey said that they find supernatural horror movies scarier than realistic horror movies. Thrillers are another major type of horror movie. As stated on masterclass.com, a thriller is a dark, engrossing, and suspenseful plot-driven story. Thrillers are meant to entertain through a feeling of mystery with a sensation of fear and unknown. Thrillers include more realistic scenarios such as murders, home invasions, or stalking. A few examples of thriller movies include It, Scream, Hush, and Silence of the Lambs. Next, we will watch this short clip from the movie It. Listen carefully to see if you notice anything. Did you notice the sound effects that they used? How did you feel when the sounds became more intense? Horror movies use sound effects to create a sense of fear or anxiety. Students in our class responded to our survey saying that horror movies make them feel scared, freaked out, jittery, anxious, and excited from the sound effects. According to atlasobscura.com, deep rumblings, high-pitched squeals, and other creepy sound effects subconsciously signal a sense of fear in the listener. Sound effects can be used in horror movies to promote anticipation, reaction, or jump scares. Spooky and creepy sounds are one of the main ways that directors and producers create fear for the audience. So why do we like horror movies? According to Malcolm Turvey, the director of the Film and Media Studies program, it argues that an unconscious, repressed part of every human is actually savage, that the veneer of civility is very thin, and beneath that is essentially a monster. Horror movies create a feeling of adrenaline and fear that many people desire and crave. This is the quote-unquote monster that Turvey describes. Each of us has a dark side that can be fulfilled through the horror movie genre. Next, Mary will be explaining the family movie genre. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm really pumped to be talking to you guys today about family movies. This is my favorite genre because they're super easy to watch. They come in all variations, are very relatable to our college lives, despite sometimes being animated or perceived as childish, but personally love them. I promise by the end you will all have a very nostalgic and positive viewpoint on family movies, if you don't already. So I'm going to start with the first slide, just a little introduction. So, as I said, family movies appeal not only to children, but to everybody. And although these stories may appeal to a younger audience, there are components that are geared towards adults, such as like witty jokes and dark humor. I can think of a few examples myself. Like, I feel like you guys always see memes and stuff about all of this. You know, it's fun. The best thing about family movies is that they can be all kinds of movies. So they're fun. Most of them are fun and more relaxed humor, family. But I mean, some of them can be dramatic, a little romantic. I'm thinking of The Incredibles right now. And some examples, which I'm sure you guys already can think of a million, but Shrek, Frozen, Monsters, Inc., The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, and Finding Dory. Like, that is fantastic. So I'm going to go to my next slide to talk about my points. If I can figure that out. Goodness. Okay. There we go. All right, so, wait, this is reason number 2. Okay, so, reason number 1 is that family movies can be enjoyed by people of all ages for a multitude of reasons backed by factual evidence and also personal experience. So, a lot of families choose to see family movies to appeal to all the ages and appropriate levels of content for each family member of their family unit. This genre is a good choice for people who don't want anything scary, maybe sexual, or anything that's too mature for their children. This doesn't mean that everyone won't enjoy them, though. I kind of prefer something easy to watch so that I can sit back, relax, and not worry about what will come next. So, some facts for you. According to the MPAA, the population of the United States and Canada aged 2 and over totaled 348.3 million people in 2017, with 76% going to the movies at least once. So, over age 2. 2-year-old's not going to go see a rated R movie, right? So there aren't that many movies that 2-year-olds can watch. A mom's not going to take her toddler to see a rated R movie. And because this statistic presents a number so high, it proves that a lot of people like to go see family movies. Another really great statistic is that in 2019, the highest grossing movie was the brand new Lion King. It literally made 1,656,963,790 ticket sales worldwide in 1 year. That's crazy. So people love family movies, guys. They're also super easy to watch over and over again. For the release of Frozen, many incredible articles were introduced for parents discussing their mutual love of the movie Frozen with their children. One father wrote, "I was amazed at how much character was packed into one short, pert song, how touching and unself-pitying it was. I went away intrigued, though not expecting to find out much more about Frozen for at least another 15 years, at which age my daughter, having been raised on a diet of leather-bound Dickens and Bunraku mime, would be allowed to watch her first Hollywood film. The movie sold 3 million copies on DVD in one day on the first release. That way, families could watch it over and over again at no extra cost. When it left the movies, people could still continue to watch it. It's also available on a lot of streaming services, and you can pay to rent it and stuff, so it's more cost-effective to get the DVD, though. 3 million copies. It makes sense. So, enough about family movie facts. Let us just watch a fun clip from Frozen and help you fall in love with the movie, because it is definitely my favorite. Okay, so Frozen is a great introduction to the family genre because it is extremely popular and loved by people of all ages, such as yourselves. I'm about to give you a deep dive, but no spoilers, I literally promise. Let's do this thing.
What did I ever do to you? Enough, Anna. No, why? Why do you shut me out? Why do you shut the world out? What are you so afraid of? I said enough!
Look, it's snowing. It's snowing! The Queen has cursed this land!
I'll bring her back and I'll make this right. Love will thaw. Love. I knew you could do it.
That's literally...
What did I ever do?
Sorry about that. Alright, let's get back to the PowerPoint. So, that was Frozen in 30 seconds. Frozen also has incredible music that people remember and relate to. We all know about Let It Go, it's so famous. I literally have sang it so many times myself, like by myself in my room, and a lot of people have really great things to say about it. It's honestly iconic. So, one author wrote, I don't know yet what my song of the year is, but I can tell you without hesitation of what song I've heard the most, although not always in its recorded version, the Oscar-winning Let It Go. Technically, the song from Frozen is sung by Broadway star Idina Menzel in the role of Elsa the Snow Queen. But as far as my 7-year-old daughter, who has been singing it several times a day for weeks, is concerned that it's hers. The song is a feminist icon and an important message for our decade, especially young girls. This is one of the reasons that you need to experience family movies and their iconic scores, not just Frozen. I mean, think about it. Circle of Life from The Lion King, all these famous songs, Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, just iconic and so memorable for everybody. There's also a lot of adult nuances in family movies, but I chose to focus on Frozen. Frozen is known as the movie to be debuted to be receptive and enthusiastic for audiences, and has since then become the highest grossing animated film of all time. All time. Here's a quote. Blink and you'll miss it. But there are a few jokes that get the adults in the room laughing, and leaving the children puzzled as to why mom and dad are cracking up. For one, there's a line that Anna sings in For the First Time in Forever, and she says, while dancing through the halls, why have a ballroom with no balls? Good question. Fortunately for Anna, the coronation is one of the biggest balls around, so her chances of finding true love are definitely on the rise. So, I really hope that you guys have fallen in love with family movies and the genre. I love it. You guys are going to love it too. The movies in this genre are just so fun and easy to watch. We all love them for a reason. Frozen continues to be a great example so many years later. At age 12, I loved it, and now I am here as a 20-year-old woman, a junior in college, and I love it even more. Although a lot of these family movies are watched by children under the age of 18, they can easily be enjoyed by people of all ages without judgment. I hope that you remember this presentation and go watch a family movie tonight. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm going to give it off to one of my other roommates to speak about another genre. Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Ava. For decades, science fiction movies have continuously been huge hits on screen. According to literaryterms.net, science fiction is defined by a genre of fiction whose content is imaginative yet based in science. The 3 elements of science fiction, as stated at penandthepad.com, are speculation about humanity's future, the impacts of science and technology on people, and settings in an alternate time and place. There are so many famous sci-fi movie franchises, including Back to the Future, The Matrix, Star Trek, and Star Wars. Personally, Star Wars is my favorite sci-fi franchise. I grew up watching the movies and shows, and the concept of battles in space has always fascinated me. According to thenumbers.com, Star Wars The Force Awakens made over $8 billion worldwide at the box office. This genre is important because not everyone is interested in watching these types of futuristic movies, so it's good that the term science fiction can be applied so that the audience knows what kind of movie they're about to see. Science fiction movies are meant to entertain and interest viewers, but in a different way than other genres, and this is accomplished in a number of different ways. Many people are drawn to sci-fi movies because they are so different from the world we live in, and they provide a sort of escape from our reality. According to DiscoverMagazine.com, a lot of the inspiration for science fiction movies comes from classic mythology. Mythology is interesting to people, so it makes sense that science fiction would also interest viewers. There are other aspects of this genre that draw people in as well, such as the amazing technological advancements that are interesting to see and make the viewer think about what life could be like if these advancements were made in our time. Star Wars is a great example of this. The technology of spaceships and the ability to travel to other planets and see creatures from different worlds is something we don't have yet, but it's interesting to see what the world could be like if we did. Sci-fi is also different from other genres because it can encompass other genres while still being science fiction, meaning it can also be a romance, action, horror, or anything else while still being sci-fi. For example, Alien is a science fiction horror film, and the Star Wars movies are science fiction with action and romance incorporated as well. Sci-fi movies are interesting and thought-provoking in many ways. This genre is different from the rest because it shows us what life could be like in the possible future. It can also incorporate different genres within the same movie while still keeping the title of science fiction. Sci-fi is definitely one of the best genres in my opinion.
Now that we have explained in detail various movie genres, you can see the main purpose of subtopics in the entertainment industry.
If movies did not have subtopics, or in other words, genres, there would be no motive in creating them.
People watch movies based on their general mood most of the time. I know I usually watch movies to have a good time. My favorite movie is Frozen, and I'm really glad that I got to tell you all about why during my part of the presentation. I have so many memories with my family, friends, and others enjoying movies on my couch, at home, or in the theater, or anywhere. It's just such a universal art form for everyone to enjoy.
But if there was no specific genre for each movie, people would probably not watch them as much or even be interested in them at all. When there's too much going on and too many emotions crammed into one film, the audience experiences an overload of emotions. These are the main reasons that movie genres are so crucial to the movie industry. Thank you for listening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much.